OCHA and the humanitarian community working there in the Kivu provinces in eastern Congo are extremely concerned about the impact of the escalating fighting is having on the protection of civilians and their displacement. We're also concerned that the humanitarian operations are increasingly difficult to carry out. Humanitarian assessments who were scheduled for yesterday had to be cancelled following the renewed fighting around Goma. Also, the relocation of some NGO staff members from Walikale and Rutshuru territory in North Kivu has meant that aid is increasingly difficult to carry out, which in turn puts thousands of people at risk.
The M23 rebel advance has prompted many people to flee towards Goma and Rwanda, and a major IDP camp at Kanyaruchinya has been virtually emptied. Previously there were around 60,000 people there.
There's also a serious risk of a spike in cholera cases due to these population movements. Cholera was already present in the Kanyaruchinya camp and in Goma, and the camps that are receiving displaced people are seriously short of water and sanitation facilities. Last week in Goma, a sudden power outage caused serious water shortages, forcing many residents to drink lake water, and this heightens the risk of waterborne disease even more.
The advances made by the M23 rebel group over the past few days have been accompanied by a significant number of violations of human rights and international humanitarian law committed against civilians, particularly those fleeing the combat zones. These violations include wounding and abduction of civilians, including women and children, looting and destruction of properties, and threats to journalists. On the 19th of November, so that's yesterday, the UN Human Rights staff reported shooting by members of M23 in densely populated areas near Goma Airport, close to UN assets and personnel. Later on the same day, the human rights teams had to stop their investigative work and seek refuge in one of MONUSCO's military bases in the nearby town of Sake due to rising insecurity.